Hello! We're excited that you'll be hosting an international intern or trainee through Inter-Exchange Career Training USA. Before your participant arrives in the US, it's important to familiarize yourself with the unique tax requirements for J-1 participants. In this video, we'll provide information regarding how your participant can obtain a Social Security number, the onboarding documents they will need to complete, and how to properly withhold and file taxes for J-1 visa holders. Since Inter-Exchange staff are not licensed tax professionals, this information is to be used for general purposes only, and we encourage you to consult a tax professional for any further or more specific questions beyond what's outlined within this video and through the resources on our website. Social Security numbers. If you'll be paying your J-1 participant, they're required to apply for a Social Security number. However, participants must wait until they are in the U.S. and have an active SEVIS record before they can apply. The wait time to receive a card may take up to 6 weeks. But don't worry, participants are still legally permitted to intern or train and receive payment before they have been issued a Social Security number. As soon as your participant arrives in the U.S., encourage them to contact Inter-Exchange immediately so that we can activate their SEVIS record. Once active, your participant should wait approximately 5 business days for their information to be transmitted to the Social Security Administration's database. They can then begin their Social Security application online, but they will also need to visit the Social Security Administration office in person to finalize their application and submit their documents. Inter-Exchange provides guidance to all participants on submitting their Social Security application, but please advise participants to contact us if they have any questions about the process. Once your participant has visited the Social Security office to finalize their application, they will be given an application receipt. Instruct your participant to make a copy for their own records and provide you with the original receipt. They may intern or train and receive payment from your organization while they are waiting for their Social Security number to be issued, as long as they have provided you with the application receipt. The Social Security Administration also provides guidance on how to pay participants while they await their Social Security number. In addition to the application receipt, you should collect the following: the participant's full name, address, date of birth, place of birth, father's full name, mother's full maiden name, gender, and the date he or she applied for a Social Security number. If you use an outside payroll company, inform them prior to your participant's arrival about the timeline and regulations for exchange visitor Social Security numbers, and that they are legally permitted to issue payment to your participant before they have a Social Security number. The wage or stipend you agreed to pay your participant is factored into their proof of funds, and they need to receive that payment in order to support themselves in the U.S. Please request guidance from your payroll provider on how to input your participant into their system without a Social Security number, as each provider has its own process. Occasionally, there are delays in the issuance of Social Security numbers. If the Social Security number hasn't been issued when the wage reports are due, the Social Security Administration advises paper filers to enter Applied For in Box A, and electronic filers to enter all zeros in the field for Social Security number. After your participant receives their Social Security number, you can then file a corrected wage and tax statement with the participant's number. Onboarding forms. Similar to your U.S. employees, your J-1 participant will need to complete I-9 and W-4 forms upon beginning their program. However, most J-1 interns and trainees are considered non-resident aliens for tax purposes, and there are special instructions for non-resident aliens when completing these forms. Please ensure your participant follows these instructions when completing their I-9 and W-4 forms. I-9 form. The I-9 Employment Eligibility Verification Form notifies the federal government that the participant is allowed to work in the U.S. Participants will complete Section 1 of the form using your company address, and you will complete Section 2. Participants must also show you their passport with J-1 visa, their I-94 arrival record, which can be downloaded from the I-94 website once they are in the U.S., and their DS 2019 form. Please note that if your company uses E-Verify, your participant must have a Social Security number before they can be verified within the system. If your participant has not yet received their Social Security number, make a note on their I-9 form and set it aside. The participant is still allowed to intern or train in the meantime. As soon as your participant receives their Social Security number, you can create a case and E-Verify using the participant's Social Security number. W-4 form. When completing a W-4 Employee Withholding Allowance Certificate, your participant should not follow the instructions printed on the form, as these are for U.S. residents only. Your participant should be sure to follow these special instructions for non-resident aliens when completing their W-4 form. They should not complete the Personal Allowances Worksheet, as this does not apply to exchange visitors. For Step 1A, your participant should indicate their legal name and permanent U.S. mailing address. For Step 1B, they should enter their Social Security number if they've received it. For Step 1C, they should mark or check single or married filing separately, even if they are married. They should leave Steps 2 and 3 blank. For Step 4, instruct your participant to write non-resident alien or NRA in the space below Step 4C. For Step 5, they should sign and date the form. Pay and tax withholdings. If you are paying your participant, they should be paid as a regular employee on the same schedule as your full-time employees. They should not be paid as independent contractors. The tax withholdings will also be different for your J-1 participant. All paid interns and trainees are required to pay federal, state, and local income tax as applicable, but they are exempt from FICA and FUTA withholdings during their first 2 calendar years in the U.S., as per Section 3121B19 of the Internal Revenue Code. Since all intern and trainee programs are 18 months or shorter, you should not withhold Medicare, federal unemployment, or Social Security taxes from your participants' paychecks. Please consult your state tax board or a tax professional to see if your participant is exempt from state unemployment taxes in your state as well. If you do withhold FICA or FUTA from your participant's pay by mistake, please be sure to adjust the withholding amount for all future pay periods and issue a refund for any amount withheld. When calculating the amount of federal, state, and local taxes to withhold from your participant's paycheck, please note that the majority of non-residents cannot claim the standard deduction on their taxes, so please be sure to withhold the appropriate amount of taxes based on their W-4 form. Filing taxes. If your participant received payment during their J-1 program, they must file a U.S. tax return for the calendar year or years they trained with your company. You will need to issue a W-2 to your participant between January 1st and 31st, documenting their wages and deductions from the prior calendar year. If your participant is no longer in the U.S. at tax time, you will need to send their W-2 form to their home country or ensure that they have access to an electronic W-2. Make sure to collect your participant's home country contact information before they depart so that you can send them the required tax information. Once they receive their W-2 form, your participant must complete the non-resident tax form 1040-NR. InterExchange provides general information to all participants on how to file their U.S. taxes, but we cannot assist them with filing their taxes since we are not licensed tax providers. And unfortunately, there are limited e-file options for non-resident aliens. In most cases, J-1 participants must complete a paper copy of Form 1040-NR and physically mail it to the proper IRS branch. Please do not advise your participant to use e-file options like TurboTax, as these are meant for U.S. residents only. If your participant has specific tax questions, they should contact the IRS directly or consult with a licensed tax professional. We hope this video will help you to navigate the unique tax requirements for your J-1 participant, but please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any further questions. We wish you a wonderful experience with your international participant and InterExchange Career Training USA.